will be the first of the major European leagues to get back playing football. And I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on the approximate date of mid-June, late June. Now, I know this is a working thing, but for Project Restart in England, what your thoughts are on that?
Yeah, well, hopefully that at the moment that is what the clubs are working towards. I think whenever you speak to people involved at any level, it kind of at the top end of the game at the moment, they're all wary about kind of nailing their colours to the mast on exactly when football will come back, because of course, as everyone keeps telling us, that it is dependent on the health advice and the declarations from central government here in the UK. But yeah, a huge amount of work is going into trying to get football in a position where we can have the Premier League back in the middle of June. Another big meeting planned next week involving all 20 Premier League clubs. So there's a lot of things to work through, and it is very, very complex. And it's going to be difficult to get the full agreement, because of course there's a huge amount of self-interest at play, as you'd expect. Every club, every club and every chief executive on those conference calls are looking out for their own club, as you'd expect. But everything still points to getting this season completed, one way or another. I think which is obviously something that Liverpool are very, very keen to ensure happens for obvious reasons. But it also goes way beyond just the mathematical thing of Liverpool being crowned champions. I just think I've never understood this argument touted by fans from some other clubs about just null and void this season and then we'll be ready to crack on with next season, because that doesn't really solve anything. It actually creates a massive headache when you're trying to sort out promotion and relegation and Champions League qualification, and you only have to look at what's happened in France over the last week when they took the decision to curtail the season there, and then there's all kinds of legal challenges that are going to erupt as part of that. So at the moment the neutral grounds thing is obviously kind of gathering pace, and whether that it looks like that's the most likely way that we're going to see football back. But if that's what it takes to get this season finished, then so be it from my point of view.
Yeah, as you said, it's easy to sit here and look at it from a Liverpool-centric perspective and to be biased. I mean, we do want the games to finish for Liverpool to win the league, but it is also important for the integrity of the league, and not just the Premier League. I mean, we can sometimes be in this bubble, can't we, where we're very Premier League focused, but you've got to look at the likes of Leeds, you've got to look at West Brom, and you've got to look at the money invested by Fulham to try and keep Alexander Mitrovic there for another season to get promotion, and it goes right down below that. And you touched on the legal challenge as well. We seen when the National League below was cancelled that straight away there was already litigation perhaps there. So I mean, it does, we can find ourselves in this Premier League elite bubble almost, James, but you're right, you do have to think further down the pyramid as well.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's what's always baffled me about this idea that the null and void thing, because the idea that makes things easier in any regard just doesn't stack up. Because try telling, as you said, try telling Leeds or West Brom that nothing that's happened over the last 7-8 months counts for anything, and we'll just all start again and rerun 29-20 as the 2020-21 season. That is completely unrealistic, and especially when you have to factor in the fact that UEFA want all the associations as well to put forward their teams for the Champions League for next season. It needs, if it's safe to do so, which I think that goes without saying. It's important that football comes back. And I also don't understand. You get some people say, "Oh, we shouldn't even be talking about football at a time like this." And I've had people respond to stories on The Athletic that I've promoted on social media saying, why are they even having meetings? It's outrageous. At a time like this, but it's over the next few weeks, touch wood, we are going to see the restrictions lifted to a certain degree. and various industries are going to start coming back in some capacity, and it's only right that football. There's a huge amount of jobs attached to football, and no one's suggesting that anything reckless happens. But if there's a way that football can come back in a controlled environment where the medics are adamant that yes, this is workable, we've got the testing in place, we can make this happen, we can get these games played, then that has to be a positive, because it's all part of getting the economy moving again.